Welcome to Pull the Pin Already, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions about the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promise you, we can give them to you anyway.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Nate. Let's pull the pin already.
I am way more in tune on this wonderful day of Monday, which is
Memorial Day.
yes, that's what I was looking for. That word I was looking for. It's the day you can start wearing white again, right? White pants.
Sure.
Isn't that like some rule, some fashion faux pas
Yeah,
thing?
some unwritten fashion rule.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid, but whatever.
But we'll take a moment to remember those who died for our sacrifices.
Yes, and those people who insist on wearing white pants when you sit on anything, it gets stained. That's why I don't do it. But I did own a pair of white jeans once, and that was probably a weird thing.
Sure you did. I'm sure you
I
did.
did, yeah, I did. Well, I'm a little older than you, and back in those days in the 80s, things were a little bit different. Yeah, we weren't the hippies of the 60s, but we were, we found our way. I almost wish I was born in this generation because I can rob, loot, steal, and start things on fire and just cause all the chaos I want and then call that, oh, it's a generational thing, but I wouldn't be doing it anyway. Thank goodness. So anyways, welcome, Nate. Welcome back. And happy Memorial Day. What are we remembering? What are we memorializing?
If you're going to have to ask Jim, I'm just going to get off this program. You're a disgrace to this country.
I wasn't forgetting to ask. I wanted to make sure everybody out there knew. Let me hide the flag right now. We'll just do that. All right, so let's move on anyway, because we don't want to spend all day talking about holidays, because there's probably a whole month of holidays coming up for you. This is the episodes where we post.
We're average veterans who've been around the world that we know everything. You ready to roll? Here we go. Yeah, Headlines up.
I was trying to crack a joke, but I didn't think it would go very far, and you didn't catch it, so I had to let it go. All right, so Representative Pressley faces 0 consequences for racist comment about white men. Imagine that.
Yeah, and I don't know who Representative Pressley is, and
I think she's one of the squad, isn't she?
I don't know. Can't be racist if it's against white men.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely correct. Unfortunately, that's one of those dumb rules, like, what is it? Racism. You can't be racist when you're black because it's about power or control or something. I don't know. I understand that. Like, I don't understand how we make stuff up to fit, whatever we want it to be, because people in America, I know they can't be that ignorant. I was going to call them the S word. They can't be that ignorant to not understand that there are entire countries full of people of color. So if you're telling me a word that is a global definition, like racism, right? Because there are races all through the globe, means that you can't be because of power, then you need to be a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Precise. Because if I'm in Africa, can black people be racist in Africa? They're in power. So you can't just say black people can't be racist. Like, that doesn't even make sense. That's stupid. So I think what we have is a bunch of entitled, ignorant Americans who try to pretend that there's a worldview inside our country that everyone has to subscribe to, which doesn't even make any sense. So racism, another thing that do I think there's racist people? Yeah, I sure do. I tend to believe it's more ignorance these days than just racist. Like, I know people don't like certain people. Like, even if you see all the migrants, like, well, heck, let's just go to 9/11. You know what I mean? What do they called it? Islamophobic. You know what I mean? Like, when you have a country like Iran that terrorizes and wants to kill you, you tend to be a little biased about the people of that country, thinking they all want to kill you.
Could be, yeah, just a little bit.
And I think your experience is going to validate that. Just like you have people that say, like this example right here. If you go through your life as a black person and you feel like all the white people in your life you've experienced are mean to you, they're critical of you, they hate you, you're going to have that opinion of white people, and I don't blame you for having that, because that's your experience. I don't think that that's an accurate opinion. Well, I can't say that. I don't think that's an accurate representation of white people, just like some of the racist people against people of color is not an accurate representation either. Like I've been to Peru, I have Hispanic in my family, and you're not going to tell me all Spanish people are bad, all Spanish people. You can't tell me that because I know that's not true. And I know there are plenty of good ones. It's just like every other group, the bad ones outshine the good, and people like to generalize. So if you're tormented by one specific person of a specific race, color, gender, whatever group, you're going to form that opinion. Now, if you look at statistics and things like that, like crime statistics, you know how they say, I guess, the smallest percentage of black population, commits 50% of those statistics could be factual. That could be enough to scare people to make them think they're racist because all people are like that, but that's still inconsistent. But it's still a bias that they got from their experience. So I don't dismiss this Presley's feelings, but I just think it's ignorant. And when you reach that level, you need to educate yourself. You need to meet more people of that race or gender or whatever and form a better opinion.
I just, like I said, these people are voted in more than once, and they just stay in there. That's how smart people are.
Well, right. But I mean, look, I'm starting to experience local politics. I'm starting to experience this. And actually I went to a meeting last night from a certain group. I'm not going to say which one, and it's nothing bad. It's a political group, just to see what it was like. And it was kind of sad. It's a small group in this large, well, not a large population, but it's a small group, and they mean well. Their cause is good, but it's just sad that that's all they got. Nobody is getting involved. Like, what are people doing? They just sitting at home on the keyboard, just getting pissed off at everything that comes across. Why are they not involved? Why would you
Isaiah?
complain about your government when you're not even voting for your local electors?
Yeah.
Like it baffles me. It's like complaining about your taxes when you put the people in that created your taxes. Like I don't understand. Like what are you doing?
I wouldn't say, like, I can complain about taxes. I didn't put those people in.
Well, no, but we
You know what I
still
mean?
allow it, right? We still participate in the game, and we don't have enough resistance. Like if
Yeah.
you stop paying your taxes, they probably garnish your wages or put you in jail. But if you do start a movement,
But if they put me in jail, then they can't get taxes anyway, because now I don't have a job, so now they're still losing money.
right? Well, that's a smart assessment because they need you to work. Which is why I don't understand even the powerful Democrats that are, the Pelosi types that are getting rich off this country. I don't understand why they're supporting the destruction of this country, because destroying this country doesn't make you any richer
Yeah.
unless you're getting money from outside sources, which is a very good possibility. So anybody who is for the destruction of this country, you need to investigate them because they're probably getting paid by outside sources.
Well, here's destruction of this country.
Sorry, I need a drink for this one.
Oh, good lord! Here we go.
Not really.
Let me just skip the next one then.
No, not really. Catholic groups say Biden admin is withholding funds from hospitals who don't perform trans mutilation surgeries.
I could believe it.
Sure. And that's a tactic. You know what? And I'm not even mad at that per se, because this it's no different than Florida. What DeSantis did that. We're not funding groups that do abortions. You know what I mean? Okay, don't take government money. All right. Like, what's the big deal with that?
Yeah.
The government shouldn't be involved in that crap anyway. The government shouldn't have a say. Like, why is the government giving money to these people anyway?
There you go. That was my thing. What's the government have to do with these hospitals anyway?
Right. And if the government's giving them incentives to help treat people, why would you pull it back just because they choose which people to treat and not treat? Okay, that's not fair. Okay, then stop giving them money. Stop giving all of them money. Don't pick and choose. You either give them all money or you don't give any money. I just don't understand. Like the incentive, I get it, but was that in the incentive? Like, was that in it? Like, hey, we'll give you money if you, decide to do all the surgeries we want you to do. Like, was that part of the deal? It's like the whole COVID fiasco again. That's why our statistics were so distorted, because the government was saying, oh, we'll give you $8,000 a patient who has COVID. Well, that's why everybody had COVID.
Hell yeah.
I mean, duh. I mean, I question the integrity of these hospitals, but also a lot of these hospitals would have went out of
No,
business if they didn't take that money.
and it's crazy how in debt this country is. How we have money to just start paying
We
stuff
don't,
that
dude.
pops up. Yeah, sure we do.
We
We did it.
don't, dude.
We
Yeah.
did it. Yeah, we did it.
That's the ignorance of the population.
Yeah,
That's the people collecting that handout, like even the stimulus checks. Like you didn't need that, but people took it. People didn't need it, but they took it. At the end of the day, did you give it back? I mean, it'd be stupid to give it back because then they just give it to somebody else who doesn't need it.
I gave it back through the economy.
Right.
I
Right.
stimulated the economy.
Right. You should have just bought a government bond with it.
I bought a gun. I bought a gun.
Right, right. Well, that's probably better. Yeah, definitely better. And that's the funniest part. Yeah, that's well spent money. But this is funny too because, you know, I don't know that the headline obviously came from whatever because of the language in it, but it's Catholic based. And I know you saw that kicker. I didn't put any of that headline in there because I think it's quite comical. But you saw that whole, was it Kansas City kicker? No,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Kansas. Is it
Yep.
Kansas City?
Kansas City Chief Kicker. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw that, all that controversy. What do you think about that? I
Well,
know it's not the headline, but it's Catholic related.
freedom. He can say what he wants to say. You don't have to like it if you don't want to like it.
And I'm gonna make a
And
rare.
I just saw something on it. Like if you get all of this negative feedback from saying something, you're probably right about it then.
Yeah, yeah. I would agree with that. Um, well, I would agree with that because his scenario is different. Because I'll give, like, I think it's Oprah props. Oprah backed him and said he can say whatever the hell he wants, whether you agree with him or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially since he's at a Catholic school. He's Catholic. He's got nothing to do with the NFL in that moment. So all the little Karens and the little race baiters, they can go pound sand. I'm not really interested in their opinion anyway. But if you think about it, people are mad at what he said. And she compared it to the Kaepernick thing. And I don't think people are mad at what Kaepernick said. I mean, there are people that are mad. I think more of the outrage is of what he did to say what he said. You know what I mean? The whole kneeling for the national anthem. That's not something he said. It's something he did. His way of protesting, I think, is what turned a lot of people off. It wasn't that he was protesting, because I think a lot of people agree. Go on your little Nike commercial and speak all the garbage you want. We just won't buy Nikes, or we just won't watch you. But when you're on the field in a game that we're watching and you're disrespecting the country that people believe in, that's the wrong way to do it. And I mean, I still say he could do it because he's an American, but I think that the NFL should not have let him do it because he works for the NFL. So they have rules, they have regulations, and I know you may or may not agree with that, but even like for the years that when I followed the New Jersey Devils, I always respected them because their players showed up for games in suit and tie, clean cut hair. Always. There was none of this, like you watch some of the other sports where they come in with their chains and their little Gucci outfits and all this little showboat stuff. And even the NFL or the NHL has lax. They've gotten like that because I think uh, a couple players on them push that system. But I always respected a standard.
The New York Yankees still have that standard. Not that I
Yeah,
hate the Yankees, but
well, I respect that. Like, I respect that. This is the image we want. You work for me. I'm paying your salary. These are the rules we put forward. You don't like this, you don't have to work here. It's just like the whole, tip dilemma, dude. And I'm telling you, you want to start a fight in your little local Facebook chats and groups, go in there and talk about somebody's tipping. Like, there's a whole generation of people who think you're entitled to tips. And you know how this stuff shows, right? Because you go to a store now. I know I'm way off track, but you go to a store now and you got the options. It starts at 18% now.
yeah.
Like, who in the hell told you you're entitled to 18% tip
There's
for
also an option.
doing what?
There's another option for no tip that you can also push. So
Not always, dude. Not always. Not always. And if
well,
there is, they put it in the end and hide
well,
it.
they can't make you tip. So
Yeah. So, well, yeah, there probably is, but they probably hide it. Yeah, I can't say not always because I don't know if I can confirm that.
I'm going to tip my hat to this headline.
Right. So, Massachusetts housed children of illegals in hotels with sex offenders.
I want to know why Massachusetts is housing either one of these two people.
Uh, and I don't like to me this is like clickbait stuff to me. It's just look, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? There's no implication that this was intentional. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no, it's kind of just what it is. You know
But
what I
why
mean?
are they housing sex offenders in hotels?
Well, I don't know, dude. And I don't know how they know that. Well, let's be honest, dude. I mean, I tell you, my daughter did this one day. She got on the sex offender registry and she's like, do you know how many there are around in this town? People don't even know where they are.
Yeah,
So it wouldn't surprise me if a hotel or the government didn't know.
there's a whole list. There's a whole. You
I
can just
understand.
look
It
it up.
wouldn't, let me say this again, Nate. It wouldn't surprise me if the people who made the list didn't know who was on it. Like it really wouldn't surprise me. So I'm not going to put too much blame on the incompetency of the government or the hotel or any of these people. But it probably somebody did some research, found somebody and said, oh my God, look, and made a big stink to, it could have been a mistake, could have been one time, could have been one for one night, it could have been anything. You know what I mean? So I don't really like this headline per se, but if it wasn't addressed or fixed, then I think that would be a bigger headline. You get what I'm saying?
No, why would you need to fix it? You're illegal. I'll house you wherever the hell I want to house you. I'm just gonna house you to begin with. So who cares who I'll house you with?
Yeah. Well, you know what, bro? You know what?
And who did say
You've
who the
lost
hell?
your way, brother.
And who the hell just say they were children sex offenders? They could have been adult sex offenders that offend adults. They don't go after children. So
Well, it doesn't say they're children, but they're sex offenders.
right. It says house with children, so it doesn't say they're child sex offenders. It just says they're sex offenders. So
Right, because sex offenders usually delineate between children and adults.
most of the time, you go after what you prefer. Either you
Right.
like kids or you don't like kids. So
Right. Yeah. Or old people. Isn't there a name for that?
sick. Yeah, it's called
Well,
sick.
I mean, besides that.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. Venezuela moves significant numbers of troops to border with Guyana.
That the help Guyana or because they're gonna fight Guyana?
I don't know, but let's back this up a second. Let's go break down this entire headline from the beginning. Let's start with the word Venezuela. Okay? I'm not sure what Venezuela looks like right now because I haven't been there, but I was under the impression there was a whole lot of chaos in Venezuela.
You think so?
So moving troops to a border sounds like an organized structure thing.
They're trying to prevent more chaos.
Right. So it sounds to me like Venezuela's got a hold on what they're doing, whether they're doing right or wrong. I don't look as them as in total chaos and disarray if they're moving troops, consciously moving troops. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with Guyana. Do you know anything about Guyana?
It's on the border of Venezuela.
Why would they be moving troops?
I guess it's on the border of Venezuela.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about them, but and nor do I really care in the end. I just know that we're supposed to be involved in other countries because it makes us look good, and we can use them as examples of stuff that we don't like. So, but well, good for you, another country, for protecting your borders. That's great. Shame on you, Guyana, for scaring Venezuela that they need to move troops to their border. But yeah, maybe you're moving troops to your Guyana border, and that's why they moved theirs. And good for you guys. Go to war. Let's just have it. Let's do it. No, I'm not promoting violence, but yeah. So I'm just rambling now because that's the end, and this sucks. Let's get off here. So thanks to Nate for showing up. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you all. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Send us all your money so we don't have to do this for free, even though we keep doing it for free. Well, it's actually not free. We do have to pay for some things, but that's on us. That's on us because this is for you. But so until then, I hope next time you see me, I'll have a haircut because I need to clean this up, huh? I'm a little out of control. But until then, Godspeed.
Happy Memorial Day and pull the pin ready. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.